Well, hello, and welcome to Stop, Let's Team Up, Those Daring Defenders, episode 19, and we are covering Defenders number 9, which contains chapters 4 and 5 of the Avengers Defenders War. So, let's get started with a little data and the synopsis. So, Defenders Volume 1, Issue number 9, released July 24th, 1973, cover dated October 1973, and the title of this issue is Divide, ... and Conquer. Defenders lineup in this issue: Silver Surfer, Doc Strange, Valkyrie, Hawkeye. Avengers lineup: Swordsman, just a cameo, Vision, Scarlet Witch, Mantis, Black Panther, Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America. And Thor and Cap are just cameos too, because this is parts 4 and 5, which has the battles between different groups: Iron Man, Hawkeye in 1, and Mantis and Black Panther versus Doctor Strange. Let's get the credits here. Writer Steve Englehart, woohoo! Penciler Sal Buscema, woohoo! Inker Frank McLaughlin, colorist Petra Goldberg, letter Artie Seamack, editor Roy Thomas. Now for the synopsis. The brief one. We're just going to do the brief one. I'm not going to do the chapters from here, but because I'm going to talk about them. The brief summary is: the Silver Surfer brings Doctor Strange the first piece of the evil line, confirms to him that the Avengers are trying to stop the Defenders' mission. Doctor Strange leaves to search for another piece and warn the others. Valkyrie drops off Hawkeye in Mexico, where he battles Iron Man for another fragment. Hawkeye escapes with the piece when Iron Man becomes distracted, saving people from a building that was damaged during the fight. Meanwhile, Doctor Strange finds another piece in Indiana, but has to fight Mantis and Black Panther before he leaves with the fragment. It's just a brief summary of it, but I'm going to kind of go through this bit by bit. Chapter 4 is basically the Hawkeye. No, that's chapter 5. I'm actually wrong. This is chapters 4, 5, and is it numbered 6? I'm so silly. I didn't check this. I thought it was just 4 and 5. It is 4, 5, and 6, because chapter 4 is the scene where Silver Surfer shows up with the first segment and tells Doc Strange that he battled the Avengers, and Doc Strange casts this spell, and he can see Loki's presence moving through the Avengers mansion, and he also sees that Swordsman, a known criminal, has joined the Avengers. So they must have been corrupted by Loki, and he flies off to Indiana. But while that's happening, we cut to part 5, which is it's Iron Man versus Hawkeye, which is very apropos because Hawkeye was originally an Iron Man villain. I wish I still had my first appearance of Hawkeye when I got rid of some comics. That was when I sold. Because Hawkeye was a misunderstood person. He wasn't really. He was someone who was corrupted by the Black Widow. He wanted to be a superhero. And he eventually becomes an Avenger. And he is my favorite Avenger, Clint Barton. So this is cool. That's one reason I think I love this. Because it's Clint in his original costume, which is the best. It's drawn by Sal Buscema, which is awesome. But he's being flown on Aragorn by Valkyrie to Mexico City, where he is going to battle Iron Man. But as they land, Doc Strange sends a message. You see his astral projection of his head floating there, telling him that Loki has corrupted the Avengers, which kind of throws Clint for a loop. And Clint's, he's talking to Valkyrie, and she says, "I hate the Avengers." And "You've never met him, lady. That's the Enchantress speaking through you. But how about take care of yourself, huh?" And her response is, the Valkyrie craves action, Hawkeye. Make it Clint, and I crave action too." And then he inappropriately grabs her and kisses her. And she screams male chauvinist pig and takes a swing at him with her enchanted sword because he's a pig. This was a very, but then there's a thought bloomer. It wasn't totally unpleasant. I don't know if that would happen in a comic book nowadays. I know it was meant innocently, and Hawkeye is just terrible with women. He has always been terrible with women in comics. I need to catch up some of the more modern Hawkeye to see if he's any better. Other than his marriage to Mockingbird in West Coast Avengers, which I thought was handled good, because he's always been characterized as a bit of a putz. He's just, he never quite gets it right. But he means well, is kind of the hint. But, But him and Iron Man have a great fight. And again, it's as much as I'm liking the Bob Brown and the Avengers, the Sal stuff is Sal. It is just great. A really good fight scene between him and Iron Man, with a lot of different gimmicks, and it goes on for a good 4 or 5 pages. And then Hawkeye beats Iron Man, which I like. And then chapter 6 is Doctor Strange versus the Black Panther and Mantis, and it takes place in Indiana in a cornfield. Doc Strange has already found the eye of evil, or whatever this thing is called now, and he's coming out of. They sense him in the Black Panther and Mantis know he's in there, so they're chasing him. They get to the road, and there are 3 people waiting for the bus to show up. And this is one of those rural, Greyhounds where they pick you up on the side of the road. And Mantis has, she can sense things, and she senses magic. And she kicks an old lady under the bus, and the old lady ends up being Doctor Strange, and he's flying off. As he flies past the farm, Black Panther does some amazing acrobatics, because that's what acrobatic superheroes do in the comics, and he bounces off. What does he bounce off? This is kind of cool. He bounces off a tractor, a silo on next to a barn, and then he hits him. They have a little fight. He's knocked loose of his grip of Doc Strange while Doc Strange is flying. He comes loose and he's falling. Doc Strange saves him, and as he catches Black Panther and saves his life, Black Panther uses the leverage and kicks Doc Strange in the face, and they're having a fist fight. I don't understand why Doc Strange is having a fist fight, but he's having a fist fight with Black Panther. Mantis runs in and tries to knock him, and the farmer wings Black Panther with a shotgun, and Doc Strange tries to fight Mantis, but with her martial arts. Finally, he uses a magical spell, and he saps their strength, and they collapse, and he flies off, and that's it. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I've read this a bunch, and I've been telling you so for the last couple episodes. I think the art is stunning. I think these Justice League, JSA kind of team up layout, I said it before, is kind of like, this is a very DC kind of model of how you do a team up. This is the first crossover I can remember, as I've said. But I think it works. I think all 3 sections are great. I mean, Chapter 4 is literally 3 pages. And then Chapter 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I guess, and the last chapter is 2, 4, 6, 8. But there's a lot of action. There's a lot of exposition, which is fine. A lot of dialogue. You get your bang for a buck in 20 pages in 1973, and a gorgeous artwork. If you're following along, and I assume you are if you're listening to this, it's a real good. If I was getting 2 comics a month, so every 2 weeks I was getting a chunk, this would be a great deal. You're getting a lot, because now we're going to go into Avengers 117, which has the last 2 battles. And let me make sure, because last time I was wrong. Let's make sure what chapters these are. That's chapter 7 and 8. Okay, so it is just a 2. Wait a minute. Ooh, am I wrong? Nope, because chapter 9 is in Defenders 10, which is the Hulk Thor. So we still got a few more issues. I really dug it. The art's beautiful. It's a good group in the 70s heroes. Again, this is a weird Avengers lineup, but it's one of my favorites. So, I think the characters are all pretty good. I think, just last Saturday I talked about a comic from 1941 and it having some questionable elements, but they were normal of that time. They don't age well. I think Hawkeye grabbing Valkyrie doesn't hold up as well as it could, and it shouldn't roll up. I mean, he just grabs and kisses her, but I get what the point is that, he is an idiot. I mean, Englehart is not portraying that that's how to do it right. He's the one that wrote Hawkeye out of the Avengers, and I think he understands the character that Hawkeye is someone who is always striving to be something, and he's not, and he's flawed, and he does dumb misogynistic stuff. I don't think I think it's meant to be as, I think that way I've always read it is that Hawkeye's a putz. He's just a putz. He's my favorite character, but he's a putz. Because he's a guy who's always striving to be something good, and he's still just he can be a bonehead. But it's great. I really liked it. This is some of my favorite art. I love Hawkeye. I love Hawkeye in this here. I'm looking at it, the old thin Avengers Defenders trade. It's just those issues, which was, when was this printed? 2002. It's 20 years old. Good God. I think I bought this secondhand. I'm thinking about getting the Epic one, which has some stuff on either side of it, because there's more to it, and I really like the Epic editions. And I also have this in both a Defenders Essential and an Avengers Essential, so I've got 3 copies of this one arc, but it's well worth it. That's it for this week on that. I'm just going to end it there. It's coming next issue is Chapters 7 and 8, Swordsman versus Valkyrie, which I'm looking forward to because I think I like the modern Valkyrie. I like the Jane Foster Valkyrie. I like the Valkyrie that is based on the movie Valkyrie, and I like the movie Valkyrie. But I do have a soft spot in my heart for the original Valkyrie, the second Valkyrie, because the original is Enchantress. But the Defenders at this era was a book I loved, and I'm enjoying it. I can't wait to get past this and get into some of the stuff that comes next, because the stuff in the issue 20s and stuff is stuff I really like, the teens and 20s, and there's Thing and a team up in the Guardians of the Galaxy and Captain America, some other stuff happening. So, but this Saturday I'm going to drop the origins of the Legion of Superheroes that I did with Jim Fetters. Can't wait for you to hear that. And next week another Tuesday Adventure Comics 318. And that'll be fun too. But until then, folks, do me a favor. Be safe, be smart, be kind, and read some comics.